You never clicked go live, but we're live now.
You're supposed to click that. Ah, Trent.
Well, here we are.
There we go.
Welcome into another episode of the Blockchain Brood Show. Guys, before we get started, please smash this golden like button. Not down though, but we prefer the upside. And why do we ask this? Is because the YouTube algorithm is so absolutely amazing that it makes you ask for it. But over there on Rumble and Twitch, their algorithm works for us, and they like us, and we just grow naturally over there. And we don't have to ask. So yeah, that's what we do on YouTube. Please smash that subscribe bell. It doesn't really ring; it more like spins around in a circle. But if I could get a good 1-2 rings, there we go. You'll find that like button in the corners. Yes, there you go, guys. Here we go, ready to rock and roll. What do we have going on today? Oh my gosh, don't even bother going on to X, man. Your entire feed's already blowing up. If you haven't already figured out that Trump and Elon are in a giant aggressive negotiations, I would like to call it. They're throwing sticks and stones at each other, but you know that's not what
domestic issues.
Yes, or foreign, depending on how you want to look at it. But besides that, guys, we have a bunch of crypto news. We have some real Liberty Finance news. We have what am I looking up? Oh, Circle news, them going public, and we got news about whatever, man. We're gonna go through it together and get a big old scoop of the daily poop.
Love it.
So anyways, but who do we have over here in this corner? This is Jesse Hogbin. Hope I pronounced your last name right.
Hogbin, yeah, close enough.
Close enough. I'm sorry. I was going for it, man, but I'm homeschooled, so.
That's good. But, okay.
Who is this fine gentleman over here? Would you like to introduce yourself, Jesse?
Absolutely. So yes, my name is Jesse. And I work and represent Caleb and Brown. We're a very bespoke, white glove cryptocurrency brokerage, which is very exciting, and we can get more into the nitty gritty of it later on in the live. But yeah, no, very happy to jump on here and chat with the guys and, answer any questions about Caleb and Brown and unpack more about what it is we do and how we're different to typical exchanges, as there are quite a lot of unique selling points and things that a lot of people might not even be aware was an option when it comes to securely buying, selling, and swapping cryptocurrencies these days.
Nice. Before you jump into some Twitter drama, I've got a little space cookie right here, and it is a hazy double IPA brewed with cookies, milk sugar, and vanilla beans.
Cookies.
And when Monkish releases this every year, they sell out the same day. And I always miss the release because you got to be like on their Instagram and find out that day that they released it. And I miss it every year. This year, I picked myself up like 4 packs. So
you have to let us know how it tastes.
Did they use? You said it was made of cookies. Did they use Oreos or those damn vanilla wafers?
I don't know. They don't reveal all of their trade secrets.
Oh gosh,
right.
Vanilla wafers.
Yeah, a little ASMR pop.
Yep.
And Jesse, we asked this same thing to Jim when he was here. I know you're on the clock and all that, but if you weren't at work and you were enjoying a beer with us, what would be your beer of choice?
Well, good question. I don't know if you guys have heard of Stone and Wood. They're a great classic beer. They make it up in Byron Bay, which is where I'm originally from, which is a stunning, warm coastal beach town on the mid-north coast, just about an hour south of Brisbane or the Gold Coast, if you guys have heard of those places. So yeah, Byron Bay or Stone and Wood is usually my go-to beer. You guys can look it up as well for all you Americans.
Nice, man. I'll have to take a look.
Nice.
Is it like a nice 4.5%, or is it a crisp 8?
It's around the 4.5%. I don't know if they quite push to around 8. It's not that extreme, but they have quite a large range of.
Is it like a light beer, like drinking Budweiser?
I don't really drink. It's in the middle. They have a few Pacific ales and like IPAs and stuff like that. So yeah, a bit of a range as well. But classic, you know, home like local beer for when you're back up home.
Yeah, nice. Well,
Nice.
I am just sipping on some Kirkland Signature water today. Anybody knows what Kirkland Signature is? It's Costco's brand. I'm pretty sure they're in Australia. I like to think they are. But the reason why I'm drinking water today is because, guys, I did a food fast, 72 hours, no food, just water, and you know, I'm just trying to warm my body up
Detox,
to hydrating again. So taking it a little easy on myself before I slam a beer on, like, you know, 3 days with no food in your stomach. I'd be out in like 10 minutes. I wouldn't be able to form a sentence. I was like, Jesse's coming that day. I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't drink that day.
Yeah, like two beers, then you're done for the night. You know, really financially sound and smart.
Yeah.
You know, stretches the budget out. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You stack sats with the money you save. From,
Literally. Yeah, that's what we do. You don't buy food and drink 2 beers and you're good.
Yeah.
Right, let's take a look at what we got going on. Should we jump into the Twitter trend? You want to hit up like bubbles?
Maybe
I might jump into bubbles because I want to show people what's going on today. So boom. What is this, guys? What is this? Blood in the street? Bloodbath. What's it look like on the weekly though? Oh,
still pretty bad.
Oh, really?
What are you looking at?
This is the weekly time frame on crypto bubbles. But guys, it's okay. Calm down because I'm here and Trent and Jesse, and we're going to tell you this is a good time to sign up for Caleb and Brown. The link is in the description because you can buy all these coins. All these coins
if you're listed.
Yeah, if you're listed,
most of them are
on Caleb and Brown, and it's a good time to buy. I call these buy weeks when we get those red days. And if you guys were paying attention to our TA, we said that Bitcoin's probably can go to 100, 101, and that's what we've been saying all week long.
Hey, let's all pick our most attractive buy on that list. Not
without looking at the price. I'm gonna go with.
First, I'm gonna say render.
I'll get out of here with render. I'm gonna go with. I'm starting to go with ADA.
The tube is down 20. Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna go with Bonk. That's a nice chart. Bonk, get on a nice creamy low. Where'd you want to go with, Jesse?
Dude, I'm so annoyed. I was literally looking at Filecoin maybe a month and a bit ago with some other mates, and I was staring at the bottom of around 22 cents, and I was like, oh, do I like allocate? You know, do I jump in a little bit? Do I not? And I didn't, and then like it just rallied to like $1.40, like within 2 weeks, I think. And I was just like, are you kidding me? So now that if you get a second opportunity, just seeing which ones are low, and
it's one of the only ones that has pumped today, even though it's down. But
Virtual is down 26%.
What is? Oh yeah, Virtuals.
Yeah.
Whiff's down 20. Yeah. A lot of double digits.
Virtual could go down a little bit more too, just because of how hyped it was.
Yeah.
Jesse, what do you guys think about Hyperliquid? Are you familiar?
It's quite a sore spot for a lot of the guys in the office. They got the airdrop and then they sold and then it just like ballooned and they're like, what have I done? But yeah, I don't actually have any at the moment. I missed the train with the airdrop, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty incredible and pretty resistant, I guess, like perps trading platform. So yeah, I think that they're going to stick around for the next little while for sure. What about you guys?
You guys know what the hottest airdrop for the rest of the year is going to be, right?
Coming up for the rest of this year?
Yeah.
He's going to say
what do you think it is?
What do you think? No, okay. Yeah, absolutely midnight. Yeah, 100%.
Of course, the Picoin's dropping more pie, so
of course I'm biased, right? But I don't know. It's one to watch out for because if you hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Avalanche.
Did you know that Cardano's traditionally
together? If you're a holder, you're going to get the airdrop, and of course, most of the airdrop is going to go to Cardano holders. But It's going to be spread across 8 blockchains, and in order to redeem your midnight tokens, you have to go to Cardano to redeem them, and that's a total of 37 million users.
You forgot
It's
the
like-
problem. You forgot the problem, Trent. It's Cardano, and they run about a year and a half behind schedule, so it's not going to come out to the bear market.
2026.
Yeah. At least there won't be hacks or downtime, though.
Yeah, because nobody's going to be able to figure out how to redeem it.
Is there a time for the airdrop? Is there an ETA?
Well, people speculated May, but that was never official, and
Okay.
and so now the speculation is July. So
Yep.
You familiar with artificial superintelligence, Jesse?
The unofficial superintelligence?
Yeah, it's
No, no.
three project. It's Vet AI, that Cardano AI token, Trent, and then
Singularity Net,
Singularity Net, and it's not the Graph is the third one, is it?
Ocean Protocol.
Ocean Protocol. Yeah, I always get those two mixed up, and they all combined into one project. And they're supposed to have an assessment of $7.5 billion market cap when the merge is complete. And they were supposed to come out their token last May. And they kept delaying it. And they're like, well, that's June. That's October. Now it's Christmas. And here we are a year later, and it still hasn't came out yet. I'm very nervous for them not to be up and ready for the bull run.
Even Cardano has never
Maybe next bull run. Maybe the 2028, 29 bull run. They'll be ready.
Yeah, he merged just in time to lose half the market cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still going to move pretty well, though.
Well, here we go into some crypto news today. Here's what happened in crypto today. Need to know what happened in crypto today. Here's the latest news on the daily trends and events impacting Bitcoin's price, blockchain, DeFi, NFTs, Web3, and crypto regulation. Today in crypto, Will Liberty Finance has issued a cease and desist letter over the unauthorized Trump-branded wallet, while stablecoin user Circle made its New York stock debut amid surging investor demand. You know, that's a whole nother article. Why would they combine those two? I was going to go into that later. You suckers. Regardless, they just said...
Isn't that a good thing? You killed two birds with one stone.
I guess, but that's true. Well, anyway, so Donald Trump, the president of the eldest son, Web3 ambassador, Will Liberty Financial Institution, said on June 3rd, Trump Organization has zero involvement in the crypto wallet, and they sent a cease and desist to... I don't know who they actually found out. Did they even know who was behind that, to be honest? Trump meme coin, the cease and desist was reportedly issued after the non-fungible token Magic Eden and the team behind the meme coin revealed the waitlist for crypto. All I know is they probably contacted Magic Eden and figured out who they were that way, because it doesn't reference who controls that wallet. They probably wanted a name anonymous for other reasons. Now here it is. USDC issuer Circle debuts on public trading on New York Stock Exchange.
Good.
Circle, yes, it is good. Hopefully Ripple buys them all. Every single one of those shares.
Yep.
Circle, I think also with that,
over, yeah.
BlackRock said they were going to buy, I think 5 or 10% off the boot.
Okay.
Circle, the issuer, the second largest stablecoin in the market capitalization, USDC, has begun trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Circle CEO Jeremy Allaire took on X June 5th to announce the company's public debut on Circle shares on the New York Stock Exchange. The company public listing comes 12 years after Allaire co-founded Circle. I actually did not know Circle was 12 years old. With Sean Neville, with a mission to remake the global economic system by imagining and rebuild from the ground up natively on the internet, the CEO said. Circle, let's skip that next thing. Circle's public launch came shortly after the company reported another upsizing of its initial public offering to... I'm sorry. That came out of nowhere.
Kind of like that dip today.
Yeah.
Right, you wake up and...
Woo. You guys are awake
3.2
now? I'm awake. I'm ready. Hey, what's up, Andre? What's cracking, my dude?
Ganjandre 420, what
Andre,
up?
this is Jesse from Caleb Brown. So if you have any questions for this gentleman, ask him. What's up, Calvin? Thank you for blessing me. Calvin, this is Jesse from Caleb Brown. I want you to find the hardest possible question. Use ChatGPT if you want, and ask this man right here where we have him, so you can get the it's all downhill from there. You get it, you get the ball rolling. It's easy, you know. So, anyways, guys, hit him up in the chat. He is watching.
You know, Calvin, whenever I read your name, I think of one of the most prominent theologians in church history, Mr. John Calvin himself.
I think of Calvin from Home Alone. You got me distracted, Trent. Upsized him its initial public offering to $1.05 billion, selling 34 million shares at $31 each. The IPO originally sought to offer 24 million shares, priced between 24 and 26. Wait, so how many shares did they do? So they were going to do less shares for cheaper the price, and they did more shares for more price. Well, I guess that was a better deal for them. Later announced on X to draw attention to the major figure company, blah, blah, blah. Where's the show that where it went up today? 31, 28, 26, 24. Guys, it didn't tell you, but it went up 164%. There, boom, problem solved. I followed it. I did it because this article on Coin Tell the Truth sucks. So.
Did you buy in and sell the top?
What's that?
Did you buy into the IPO?
No, unfortunately, I did not. Though I did buy a coin that, or my wife did, and we're up 150x. So that's
150x.
Yeah, and overnight.
What market cap is that? Like when you got in?
She found it at 80. She found it at 80K, and it has stuff to do with the political realm and the narratives going on. And she's pretty good at sniping those meme coins. But
you can't say what it is.
Like it just rallied to multiple 10, 20 million or something.
Well, I don't know if I can say that, because if I decide to sell and I encourage you guys to go buy it, then I'm dumping on everybody.
Okay, look, we're not encouraging you guys to go buy it.
Not for that sort of ask. But I feel like it's too late now. If it's already done a 150,
yeah. Well, it's cooling off now, so. But we definitely sold the top, and then we're waiting to sell more. She bought a lot of the supply for the amount of liquidity, so you kind of have to DCA out. You guys really want to know?
I mean, I might not buy if it's I would be curious to suss it.
Oh, okay. It's called Kill the Bill.
Oh, the big beautiful bill. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, he likes to take advantage of situations that arise, and because it's an Elon Musk narrative, like Peanut, and because Trump talked about Peanut, and then not Trump, but Elon, and then he also talked about what was the other coin? That was Dogecoin was another one that was a Trump narrative, and then he did one more coin that was a Trump narrative. What was it? Oh, Maximus, Elon Maximus, or whatever it was, the Trump narrative, Elon narrative. You have him on my mind right now. Can't get them off it. What we got going on? Maple Finance expands to Solana, deploys the yield-bearing stablecoin. And if anybody looks at the Maple chart, it is phenomenal. It's just practically going up. Lending platform Maple Finance is expanding to Solana network in a bid to reach a broader class of users. Good for them. That is really bullish for Maple. I'm really happy that they're doing that. Can AI agents run next to Web3? We don't want to listen to that one because I probably can't retain attention. Institutional Bitcoin holdings, ETF holdings see first quarterly decline. Well, Trent,
breaking news. I just got a Coinbase notification that Bitcoin has risen above $102,000. I'm the first to break it to you guys here on the Blockchain Brew. We're all rich.
That's it. Come in.
Except Trent, we might be having bearish divergence.
Yeah. We don't need to know about that.
I found the rest of the article. Circle Stocks jumps 167%. That would have been really convenient if those suckers put that article next to the other article, or in the other article.
Well, let's. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's hop over
to.
Go.
You take us to X, Trent.
Yeah, let's hop over to X real quick, and then we will, with no further ado, give Jesse some time. And by the way, do you are you cool with sharing your screen? I know you sent me those slides earlier, but you're welcome to share your screen if that works out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything to share on my end. I'm just
Oh,
happy
okay.
to talk. But if you guys wanted to go through the slides, like I sent it to you, you're more than happy to run with that. Yeah.
Okay, then we'll after I cover X, and I'll just hand it off to you for a little bit, and we'll do it that way.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, I can
tell me one
run through
thing,
that way.
Trent. Tell me one
So-
thing.
Huh?
Tell me one thing first.
Yeah.
How well did the stock do today for Tesla?
I don't know.
They lost
Probably
150
not
billion,
good,
didn't
but
they?
I could see it being the opposite.
I feel like they lost 158 billion in the market cap. I just saw before, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then Elon's net worth dropped by like 32 billion, I think.
That is
not that
brutal.
that matters. Yeah, not that matters at all, but yeah.
do you think he did it to buy up more of his own stock?
I wouldn't be surprised if there was
That's a
some
long
sort of-
shot, I know, but
I'm very conspiratorial on a lot of this stuff, so I think it's very interesting that he got the black eye, and I think it's very. And now he flips the switch and is like enemies with Trump. And like, why would you help him out so all the way and then all of a sudden flip right now on the bill? Like he knew what was going into it before all this other stuff. And,
Yeah, it does seem a bit,
and that seems a little interesting
Superficial.
to me. And I also could see on the conspiratorial side, if you believe in the deep state or the blob or whatever, like before the midterms, this is like another shot. They want to see who's like really on their side and trying to uproot it. And so it could have been all a planned thing, but also maybe it's an actual fight. I don't know.
this is why we need to move to Australia. They don't have this kind of drama over there.
Yeah, they just feed their enemies to crocodiles.
yeah, literally. Up north, that's where they get you.
We don't got alligator. Have you ever ate alligator, Jesse?
I think I have, yeah. Once went to this Brazilian barbecue thing and I had like chicken, heart, and then alligator, and then kangaroo, and then like all these other like exotic meats, which were quite decent actually, to be honest. Yeah,
That's interesting.
Kangaroo's quite nice as well. If you guys have ever considered having some.
My dad found some in the garbage in the form of a beef jerky stick. I tried. you know, because Trey always laughs because we're garbage guys and we find odd.
We
Hey, I've given you garbage food before. You just didn't realize it.
when?
When we were in Georgia.
No, you didn't. Anyways, so here we are on Elon Musk's Twitter, and there were a couple of things that.
There's this Epstein video.
So he says, he reposts this: the relationship between Trump and Epstein is well established. Trump flew on Epstein's plane at least 7 times, though it's not clear he ever went to the island. Here's what Trump said about Epstein in a 2002 New York Magazine profile. And then, it gives that. I'm going to run through these. Let's see here. Time to drop a really big bomb.
You can walk through them too, Trent.
At Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. The world's greatest fiction writers couldn't have conceived of a timeline like this. In light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. What a name! These are the people who have like enough money to like make their video game fantasies a real life thing. He's like who builds something and calls it the Dragon spacecraft?
It's the scale they put onto it.
Trump says the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it.
Trent, before we used to have Twitter, I'm stuck in the year 2000s.
Is this an old clip?
I have to tell you, I want to thank you all. And Elon, I want to thank you. I know you've been through a lot with this horrible situation that happens.
That's right. Saving America.
Yeah,
I have no idea how that affects him, but possibly not good. I don't know. But he's never asked me for a thing. And I think that's an amazing tribute. I did get activated, really terrorists when you think about it. So they better.
Okay, I think that's old. I'm not quite sure what the point
well,
is.
Bill Ackman said that to Elon. He goes, "Hey, can't we just all work together? It would be a better place if we did." And then Elon replied and said, "Absolutely."
Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy.
Do they have electric cars in Australia?
Yeah, we got Tesla. Thank you. No self-driving cars yet, though. I know that's a thing in the US. We don't have the regulations yet for that.
I never imagined
we're a little bit behind.
Well, I haven't ever been to Australia, and last time I've seen videos of Australians is with Steve Irwin, and so this is way long time ago. But I always imagine Australia with dirt roads, but I know it's not actually a thing because you guys are such a large continent. It's you guys cover so much area. I'm do you guys have roads that go literally every square?
A lot of the middle of Australia is literally just desert, dirt and dust with maybe, the odd dirt road here and there. It's really only, I think 80% of the population is on the east coast to Melbourne and then Perth. We're very, very, very heavily concentrated to these small, 3 major cities, 4 major cities, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne and Perth. And then everything else in between is sparsely populated. Yeah, we only have 26 million in the entire continent, which is the size.
Well, that's weird, Trent, because they have 4 major cities, but the U.S. has all cities.
Yeah, we have 18 people on YouTube alone watching, and only a few regulars. So if you guys are watching, drop in the comments where you're watching from, and put a +1 in the comments if you've heard of Caleb and Brown. We do have a question from Calvin for Jesse. He says, do you think Charles Hoskinson has been unfairly treated over the years? If so, why?
Yeah, I saw that, just looking at it now. I don't have too much to say when it comes to that. I mean, even these guys here, Trent and T-Square, they probably have just as good insights, as I would have. I can't really give it a formal opinion regarding what CNB would say. I'll need to look more into it, but I don't think so, in all honesty. I don't know if you guys want to jump in here.
Guys, you guys have to be a little careful with with giving a formal position on something when it comes to individual projects. But the answer to that is unequivocally yes.
I think unequivocally no.
No,
I think he's had more opportunities than everybody.
No. It's unequivocally yes. Look, Gemini.
He was Bill Gates. He stole his roommate's software.
No. Tell me why Gemini. The trading volume on Cardano surpasses the entire exchange of Gemini combined.
But nobody uses Gemini. Why don't you say Coinbase?
And okay, right, but how many single coins surpass the trading volume of all of Coinbase? Be realistic.
Solana.
No.
How do you know that?
There's no way that.
You really? Because Solana has so many transactions with a 2% fee that it passed Ethereum's transactions that had a $50 fee.
Yeah, but Coinbase, even Ethereum, and I'm talking trading volume. So not just transaction. Everything is a transaction especially when you're in the world of NFTs and especially in gaming protocols. Every little function that you do is technically a transaction. That's why they gaming has to be hyper scaled. But
just made Jesse disappear.
But anyways, the Cardano's trading volume surpasses the entire exchange of Gemini, and they still will not list Cardano. Cardano is intentionally left out of major reporting all the time. It's a regular thing that happens. So, anyways, next question. It says the Elon versus. I guess it's not a question, but Elon versus Trump is a charade. Yes, Trump knew Epstein, but made him kick rocks when he found out the truth on him. Ancient news. Yeah.
And also to that, I want to say that those, Epstein gave his jet out to a lot of people. I used a statistic, like say 100 people flew on his jet, probably only 5 to 10% of that actually went to the island. Because he was trying to do favors for everybody, and and that way he was connected to everyone.
Yeah, and I think we were all aware that Trump had ties with him back in the day. Like I've seen that quote that Trump said about Epstein. I've been well aware of that little splur from the 2002 New York. Like I've been aware of that. I feel like most people would be pretty well versed.
We do have some decent numbers on YouTube right now, so I just have to pause and say, if you would be so kind and generous as to hit the subscribe button,
you hit Jesse's heart.
It would touch T Square and Jesse right in their hearts.
Yes, they have hearts in Australia.
Yeah.
So nice.
We do. Yes, we are human down here.
You know who?
And gators.
And gators.
And spiders.
If you don't have a heart, you get fed to the gators.
Yeah. Also, if you subscribe, you join the Brew Crew, the most hydrated community on YouTube.
Oh, I don't have my bottle. I lost it. You know who Virginia Guffrey is?
No.
She's like the Epstein lady who just committed suicide after being hit by a bus like a few weeks ago.
And, I've heard of that.
She actually worked at Mar-a-Lago when Epstein recruited her.
Wow.
Or not Mar-a-Lago, maybe the hotel, like a Trump Tower or something like that, affiliate.
Thanks. Well, I'll say this and then we'll kick it over to Jesse, but something that I contemplated today was I thought back to 2021 and how Elon Musk single-handedly manipulated the market. Tesla was buying Bitcoin, and then, this was leading up to the April peak in the first half of the run. And then Elon came out and retracted that move that Tesla wasn't going to be accepting payments in Bitcoin anymore because Bitcoin wasn't green enough, so to speak. It was it wasn't energy efficient enough. Bitcoin mining uses too much energy, even though for miners to remain profitable, they're literally incentivized to find the most renewable sources of energy possible. But it was a FUD campaign, and I don't know why Elon seems to be different in a lot of
black
ways.
guy.
Like 4 years ago, but I don't know if it was manipulation, for malicious reasons to pump his own holdings. I don't know. But
change your name, Jesse. By the way,
I saw that. Yeah, that's good. I probably should have done that.
But I got to thinking, and I was like, what if right when Trump finally does launch the strategic reserve, the crypto stockpile, we're selling some of our gold reserves to buy crypto with, to buy Bitcoin, and also potentially Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and ADA. And we're adding this to stockpiles and strategic
ADA
reserve.
didn't fall out of the top 10.
Yeah. And then right when he's doing this, Elon comes out and has a FUD campaign against Trump's crypto moves. What a plot twist that would be. And I started thinking to myself, oh man, what if we get 2021 all over again with the Elon FUD? But I talked myself out of it a little bit because, back then I think that was in many ways one of Bitcoin's big
drinks,
coming of age events. You know, almost a
armpit hair moment.
yeah, like a bar mitzvah, like coming of age sort of thing, right? It's had several of those over the years, right? Like, you know, even Bitcoin Pizza Day was it was a sort of moment of validation because it was being used to buy something.
Funky's
even
probably
though it was
right,
little.
Trent.
Huh?
Funky's probably right on that last comment.
Elon allows his own kids to hang with Trump. This is a Trump-Elon play to push the list out. The list is still being suppressed by due process. Wow.
That actually makes a lot of sense, too.
Wow. I mean, what a way to do it, though. That's extreme. But yeah, you know, anyways.
It only cost him a couple $1 billion.
Yeah.
But do you feel like they're too smart to just like let it derail over Trump, over Elon calling the bill like what disgusting or like ridiculous or something like that? Like, yeah, I almost believe with you like Funky. Like, I feel like there's a lot more to it than what they're letting on.
It's almost like an act, you know. And I also think too, like, he's talking about the spending in the bill, right? Well, we have seen it a dozen times. It doesn't really matter what number they put into the bill because they're either going to just suspend the debt ceiling later, or they're going to spend that money regardless and just not say anything. They'll be like, well, we did it. Oh, well, what are you going to do about it? You know, type of attitude. And there are things in the bill that do save money, and you kind of have to spend a little money. And I kind of conspiratorial. I almost want to say like the system's so bad that they just want to burn it all down and rebuild it from scratch. And I don't know if you guys caught, but you know how Trump was always saying, fire Jerome Powell, fire Jerome Powell, fire Jerome Powell. Well, everybody thought Jerome Powell worked for the government. Trump knows Jerome Powell cannot be fired, but he had the courts go in there and say, hey, we are establishing a boundary right now, or not boundary, but making clear that Jerome Powell works for the Federal Reserve, which is a private company. They separated the Federal Reserve from the government for anybody that didn't catch that. So now, but that's on record now. So now they can reference it later. He knew what he was doing. He's building something, you know. Sometimes you got to start on the foundation. You don't even know what the hell you're building until you get a couple floors in. And you're like, oh, it's a building. I thought it was just a brick. Now we're building a brick, and then I saw windows come in, and a sink, and a toilet. What did Funky say now? The bill allows no regulations for AI for 10 years. That one's a little scary. That one kind of freaks me out because look at the iPhone. We've gone through 10 iPhones in 10 years. Bill allows no regulations on AI for 10 years. Elon is building an AI plant in Memphis, Tennessee. That is also very true. Elon is pro the bill. Trent is gone. Hi, Trent. Hey, on that note, we wait for him to come back, because you can lead into some Caleb Brown stuff. You want me to just pitch some questions?
Yeah, I don't have any questions. Do you have the slide deck that I sent through? Send it to the blockchain email. Let's have a look here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
Hey, Trent.
Welcome back.
Pull up your thingy in the mobber in the email. You're back. You're fine. I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. I had to
No, you're good. Just do your thing. Just take a sip of beer. Pull up the email. I'm gonna lead into a question to Jesse, and then we'll kind of ring through.
Okay.
Jesse, what's your favorite crypto to buy on Caleb Brown and why?
Some of them with a bit of finesse, like favorite crypto. Oh, what's heavily oriented to more the blue chips at the moment, but looking into ISO, 220, those ones like XRP is something that I'm still, again, not financial advice, not speaking on behalf of CNB, but me personally, I'm really curious to see what Ripple does, in the coming future. They seem to be, doing a lot of heavy hits. So yeah, keen to see sort of where they take the market and where they take, XRP.
Well, Ripple also said they don't plan on IPOing this year. So do you think that's really true, or do you think they do plan on it?
Hard to say. Yeah, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. I am curious, some of our guys, Jim actually, and our CCO, they went and sponsored, they were one of the sponsors for XRP Vegas. So they're currently over in the US, talking to a lot of, people in that world. So I'm curious when they get back for me to pick their brains and be like, get some more of that info, which would be really, interesting to hear different people's opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool for them, and pretty exciting for us to be able to sponsor such a large event.
Yeah. Oh, also too, anybody who's watching, because we have more people than normal watching right now, we are taking active questions. You just made me disappear, Trent.
I know.
We are having active questions. So if you guys want to shoot Jesse anything, just let us shoot into the chat. He'll answer them for you. And you don't like? Do you like Stellar? You a Stellar guy? I already know you don't like ADA, so.
I don't personally hold any Stellar XLM, but it's something that I'm still looking. Yeah, I'm watching it from the sideline. You could say that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's leave. What did Funky say?
ZBCN is number one play of the cycle. It eliminates banks 100%. Payroll directly to ZBack card. But I was just reading about this today, real briefly though. So that's interesting. I'm going to go back and look.
All the partnerships are on XRP. ZBack is a strong network at rank 152 rank in place, but if you look at it on the yearly chart, that's very sus. Why it just randomly shoots up like that?
Yeah.
Like it literally just. I don't know. Wait. I don't know. Let me show you. Sorry. Last thing.
Batman and Robin. Hey, I love that.
Before we get into that guy's question, so he says ZBack is the number one, and I have it pulled up with just some bubbles. That's a very suspicious chart. Let me look at it. That thing was practically all year long. It didn't pump at all, and then all of a sudden, poof. That's pretty weird. I'm willing to bet it's probably gonna come back down to here, and I don't know why it pumped. Maybe it was a big partnership, but why would I use this over XRP? It's only $363 million. XRP has all the foundation. Even Stellar, I think, would be a better buy than ZBack, but I could be wrong. And maybe ZBack will do out more numbers than it could market cap. I could be wrong. Okay, well, we'll go back over to Jesse. Robert, what's crack-a-lacking, dog?
Cheers. And he's trolling you, Tyler. I mean G Square. Anyways, take it away, Jesse.
Wait, who is trolling me?
Yeah.
Rob.
He's cooking it. So or even just for a little bit of reference to anyone else in the chat, if you have any other questions around the Caleb and Brown, we're a bespoke white glove cryptocurrency brokerage. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I'll be able to answer them for you. But essentially what we are, we're quite different to your typical exchange. I've made a little bit of a couple of slides here that we can go through as well. But essentially what we are, we allow all of our clients to seamlessly, buy, sell and swap cryptocurrencies through a very personal broker and dedicated support team. So, you can go into the origins of it, but essentially we have a very hands-on, first name basis relationship with our clients, our brokers have, and we allow, people to seamlessly onboard, buy, sell, swap. I think it's between, 250, 300 different cryptocurrencies. But it allows all of our clients to get on the phone, talk to a real human, and, talk to real people 24/7 when it comes to anything like, buying, selling, swapping, or even just talking to the broker in regards to what the market's doing at the moment. This morning it was quite busy in the office. A lot of people being like, why did the market just correct? Why is everything, why is it bloody Friday in Australia? So that's our main ethos, I guess, is a high, white glove service. But there's also a lot of other good aspects around why Caleb and Brown as opposed to, other exchanges. So a big one, obviously, in the crypto space is custody and security. So we store all of our clients' assets in cold storage. We're partnered with Fireblocks, which is an institutional grade leading custody provider. I think they have multiple trillions in custody. They're with the biggest banks and other, really big players in the field. So all of our clients' assets are offline. It's not like an exchange. And then we can also go into a little bit more about how we aggregate or do transactions or trades. So we, if someone is wanting to do a trade, if you go up there a little bit, Trent, you can see how we, split complex trades, say, into multiple different transactions in order to avoid having, high spreads or dynamic spreads, or affecting the market if it is in a low liquidity pool. which is, quite unique and something that, is our specialty. And then, so it's a really nice, boutique brokerage. We're based in Australia, in Melbourne, where I am right now. It's currently Friday lunchtime, but, we service clients from all around the world. Our largest demographic is in the US, in America. And we've been around since 2016. So we are quite battle tested, for this industry, being around for so long, where we're on the mature side, which is nice. We have a solid, strong history. We've never been down, we've never been hacked, we've never been compromised or anything like that. And we're, in the process of opening up office in Florida, which is really exciting to have boots on the ground there, where people can, come and meet the brokers in person, and, we'll be a lot more active in the space.
Did you see that question, Jesse?
No, I didn't. I was full screen. I'd jump out. The CMB offer a tax-free option. Not sure what you mean by a tax-free. So we don't. So we're regulated in Australia. All of our clients have to KYC just for regulation or regulatory purposes, but we don't supply the IRS with any tax information on your behalf. We don't upload any tax profiles even to the ATO or the Australian Taxation Office. That is something that you have to do as yourself as an individual. We can provide you, the transaction history. So tax-free option. If you want to elaborate on that, Funky, I'm more than happy to explain further. Whether you mean by like onboarding through the American banks,
He could mean sort of like I Trust Capital having a sort of tax. I know for Australian users, you guys do have like your self-managed retirement funds that are tax advantaged. That would kind of be like what I Trust Capital offers. They're the main one for US users, but it would be cool. I know there's a lot of red tape. It would be really cool if Caleb and Brown were able to work that out with for US.
Do you mean like in regards to like IRAs potentially?
Yeah.
So we do onboard people. You can onboard your IRA through us.
You cut out for a second.
So that is something that we facilitate.
For even for US users though?
Yes. Yeah. So we can onboard IRAs and buy crypto through us.
Oh.
If that's what he meant by a tax-free option.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what he meant. But that's huge. Okay.
Yeah.
So give our audience just a little introduction to why they should look into onboarding their IRAs with Caleb and Brown.
Yeah, I can't say
why a
much.
crypto IRA in the first place.
Well, it depends. Like that's because, like, my understanding is it's equivalent of the Australian self-managed super fund, where it's like your retirement fund, but if you are looking after yourself rather than allocating it to a superannuation company for them to do, then that's obviously where you have to be a little bit more strategic with when it comes to crypto. A little bit more risk averse. So with the IRAs, I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone.
Yeah.
But if you were to allocate some of it to crypto, you probably want to stick to the blue chips like Bitcoin, potentially Ethereum, depending on your long-term conviction. But if you're like, if it's a 10, 15, 20 year horizon.
Yeah.
You
guys, you have to hold this till you're 65,
Yeah, exactly. So I'd definitely be having a very conservative approach in this high risk asset class, which essentially would be Bitcoin.
Can I just say something, not financial advice? I would, if I was going to put together my IRA in crypto that I was going to hold till 65 years old, I would still include Cardano in it.
Yeah.
Because I believe in it that much. But yes, it would be very Bitcoin heavy because you have to you just have to reckon with yourself that man, you're going to hold this till 60 if you want to take advantage of
if you make it at 65.
Yeah, like you have to understand narratives only last for a cycle. Like this cycle is very heavy in AI agents, and real world assets. Last cycle, it was NFTs and DeFi, and so it's not like how many cycles until we're 65. That's like 40 years away. It's like 10 cycles. So like who knows? Like
Did you just say 40 years away? It seems like we're a little.
Maybe. Yeah, I think we're a little
You are. It's like,
but like a lot of things could happen between now and then.
It's like 30 years away
irrespective of
from
where
me.
people are.
30 or less.
But it is something that I will definitely look at. And even for myself, I haven't set up a self-managed super fund yet. But once it becomes something substantial where it's like, okay, I think I can actually do better than what these companies are doing on my behalf. And I think I can actually outperform them in the long run. I am completely sold on Bitcoin. I've been since 2017. And my thesis around it hasn't really changed that much because I understand the underlying utility and what Bitcoin is as a store of value. And so I'm very heavily convicted in that space. Everything else, the other 100,000 altcoins and meme coins, most of them will come and go, and a lot of people make a lot in between. But long-term IRA, you definitely want to be heavily oriented into Bitcoin to hedge it.
You think, Jesse, when regulations come, that's going to probably kill like 85% of cryptos and only 15% will remain?
Well, 85% of cryptos I feel like will fizzle out regardless over the next multiple, however long you look at. But then new ones will come up. But I feel like the space will benefit long term from regulations. Once like whatever's happening in the US and those politics, they're going to lead the way. Then obviously other nations are going to start looking at the US as an example, as a leader. And they're going to want to, pretty much copycat, whether that's, this year or the next coming years. So I feel like it will filter out a lot of the bad actors, you could say. But as long as the reasons why people, or the reason why this asset needs to be around or why there should be a token is something substantial, then I guess, again, it's time will really only tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where's a great place that if people want to check out the website, where's a great place that they can click the link?
Yeah, of course. So down in the description, if you guys click the link there, it'll take you through to Caleb and Brown, where you can easily sign up and become one of our clients. So, and we'll look after you. It's a very, very great service. We have a lot of positive feedback over the years about how we look after our clients, and it's not like other exchanges where you're left to fend for yourself. So if for those people, I guess I understand this isn't for everyone, but if you really appreciate and benefit from having that real person touch point and being able to get on the phone and say, hey Sean, saw the market's doing this, I'd like to buy another X amount of XRP, or I'd like to buy some more Bitcoin, can you send that trade through for me? I'm busy, I'm working. If you don't have time on your hand, then we take all of the stress out of that for you, and we do it on behalf of you.
Yeah, you're busy working away at your 9 to 5, or
non-Web3 job.
Or putting out 1,000 fires in your business that you own, or
exactly,
or maybe you're at Disneyland, and
that could also work.
And your dexes and your exchanges that you buy on are all on your desktop at home, or or maybe you're kicking back on the beach and you want to just be able to send a message to your broker.
And another great thing about Caleb and Brown, that not a lot of people really think about until you're in that position, is that through us, because all of our clients' assets are stored 1-for-1 in cold storage, we don't lend it out, we don't stake it or anything like that. When it comes to withdrawing, there are no withdrawal limits. So if you've done extremely well in the crypto space, as a lot of people do, and you all of a sudden find yourself sitting on 500,000, $1 million, $2 million, and you're like, wow, okay, let's withdraw it. You can, and it can happen all in one transaction, as opposed to other exchanges. I'm not going to name names, but I know places that have like a $25,000 limit per transaction, and you can do like only a couple of transactions a day. So if you're sitting on $500,000, that's going to take you weeks to get out, to off ramp. which
Yeah.
is borderline just crazy and unacceptable as it, with where we are. So that's also something else that a lot of people, especially the high value or high net worth people, or people who've done really well in this space, really appreciate. And there's no, I can get more into the fees as well if people are interested to unpack that. But yeah, there's no withdrawal fees. So that is something that a lot of people really like about our service as well. It's just that seamless method of onboarding. You can deposit, you can withdraw as much as you like or as much as you have, without incurring fees and without having to break it up into multiple different transactions.
And you can always, click the link in the description and you can sign up for free. You can create an account for free.
Completely free to sign up, completely free to then deposit any crypto. Like it says, it goes straight to cold storage. So even like a lot of people that aren't, very competent in the space or don't feel comfortable having their own cold wallet, but don't necessarily trust exchanges where it's essentially just sitting on the exchange. A lot of people would like to just utilize us for our cold storage solutions. Again, that's completely free to use. So yeah, I highly recommend go on the website, click on the link, browse around. You can read all about us and what we do. But if you have any other questions, I'll love to, dive deeper.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Good answer.
What about you, T-Square? Any questions?
Me? I already asked mine. You're getting your drink. Yeah, I could come up with more. I could come up with anything. Would you like to come up with more?
If you want to, I was just asking.
Well, I just think that you have a very nice coat. And where'd you get it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got it from Industry, I believe.
Not local?
Industry. I mean, if you guys don't have Industry in the US, I believe it might. I don't think it was Australian based.
I've never heard of it before. I mean, Trent, have you heard of Industry?
No, I mean, this guy's obviously way more fashionable than me, but
I mean, we came up, even wasn't wearing a shirt. And I was like, oh, I should probably get dressed.
But it's also cold. We're in the middle of winter down here, so everyone's like dressing up. And I'm actually over before the end of financial year. I'm gonna go out and buy a nice
Wait,
trench
it's
coat.
winter there?
Yep. Different hemispheres.
I have a
That's
question.
weird.
Do you indeed have to beat off the girls with a stick because you're so fashionable?
I mean, on the way to work, there are usually a couple hanging around the door down the bottom. They have to sort of just go around the back entrance. Yeah, it can get quite annoying sometimes.
That can be quite annoying.
Now, Melbourne's good. I feel like everyone has a sense of fashion in Melbourne. I think it was rated one of the most livable cities multiple years in a row before COVID absolutely destroyed the economy. But it is quite nice. And if anyone ever travels to Australia, I highly recommend Melbourne. And if you're in Melbourne, give me a bell and I'd love to take you out and go show you around for sure.
Heck yeah.
Open invite.
I'm going to hit you up on that.
Literally, yes. Yeah. That would be great fun. Have it go out in town.
Yeah,
I wish that my wife and I went to the Taylor Swift concert in Melbourne. We went in LA and we went in Glendale, Arizona, but yeah.
Yeah, it
what
was huge.
What restaurants you guys got out there that we don't have? Do you guys have KFC? Yes, of course. Yes, we're not that behind in society. I think we don't have a lot of the main ones like Steakhouse, I think, but we have our own variations, or we have Jack in the Box.
Like Hungry Jack's.
No, Jack in the Box.
No, I don't think so. No, we got the basics. And then
You're not missing out on much.
I love Jack in the Box. 99 cents.
A lot of smaller companies. Like Australia is quite good, and we're quite our beef and our agriculture is quite strong. That's one of our key. We're almost self-sufficient in regards to that aspect. On the food chain. So yeah, it's good. We have very good Australian beef, wines as well. Australia and New Zealand do excellent wines. So yeah, we do okay in the dining and the fine dining sector.
So T-Square just hit us with a blast from the past talking about the 99-cent Jack in the Box tacos. Here's a little American culture for you.
Okay.
Jack in the Box is the place that people go in the middle of the night when they're trashed and should not be driving, but for some reason they are. And they're hungry, and Jack in the Box is open, and they have 99-cent
24/7.
tacos. However,
Ooh, okay, maybe Taco Bell.
Oh, we have Taco Hell.
however, I'm pretty sure that T Square is stuck in like 2010
No,
because
2000. Did you see my computer?
I'm not
Yeah, it's a good year. Yeah.
I'm not sure that those tacos are 99 cents anymore because inflation is out of control, which is why you need to stack sats and buy Bitcoin.
Exactly. Yep, and don't eat. It's very bad for you, as Andre is just
Andre.
saying now.
Yeah.
But I
Yes,
like
no,
it
we're,
so
no,
much.
we're not endorsing fast food places. Absolutely, go get some real food in you. Go to these local mom and pop shops. Do you guys call it Macca's or McDonald's? Is it just me?
Mackers?
Macca's, yeah. Everyone here calls it Macca's.
For real?
Macca's.
No.
That's some Australian culture for you.
Noted.
Go get some
That's
Macca's.
awesome.
Yep. The Macca's run is quite popular at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're on your P plates or your provisional driver's license and you're 17, and you just gone back from a party. Go get a Macca's, Macca's drive-through and Macca's run, and yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
What about Burger King?
I think that's Hungry Jack's. I think we call it Hungry Jack's.
Wow.
Yeah. I agree with Ganja Andre though. I like to our local grocery store just got a sushi bar. I've been eating a lot of that. It's a year at
Sushi
least.
has worms.
Yes, yeah.
You're probably right.
Fast
But
food
like, dang.
I've never been
is-
dewormed.
I don't even know how you deworm. Yeah, I don't know.
I think you
Oh, no,
get to
Kevin
take
Brown.
like parasite pills, and then there's little things. come
Maybe.
out of you.
Like in the medieval times.
I know you deworm your dog. Like,
True. Apparently,
Hey, yeah, you
I
can take
know
horse
that.
medicine. That's proven.
Yep.
ivermectin.
Yeah, horse pain. That'll probably get a dewormer.
Yeah, exactly. I try to smoke my own meat on my Traeger pellet grill.
Ooh,
'Cause I'm
yum.
not a real pit master. So when you're not a real pit master, you use a Traeger.
Dissolve. I've heard
So-
of
Yeah.
Yeah. Benzol. Well, I think we're wrapping up, coming to a close. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? I usually close, so we're gonna let Jesse close the Blockchain Brew Show. We'll see how he can
Exactly.
sign off.
Unreal, guys. It's currently Friday for me, so I'm looking forward to the weekend because I'm ahead of you guys, But yes, thanks for coming. And again, any questions, reach out. You can sign up, explore Calvin Brown if you're looking for, a quality white glove broker to help facilitate buying, selling, and swapping crypto. If not, like and subscribe, and you'll be around for the next one.
There you go, guys. Got it from Jesse, Caleb, and Brown. Let's go.